Hi everybody, here's a video on how to do linear regression inside of Rguroo. Your first step is going to be to get the data that you want into Rguroo. If you haven't got it in there already, make sure you do your import data set, choose your file, and save. I'm going quick here because I've already got a video on how to get data up and into Rguroo. But once your data is in, what you can do, what I always recommend doing is checking on the data and making sure that it's read in correctly. So yes, we're going to use the MT cars data for this one, which is a very popular practice data set. You'll see that the variables here are like miles per gallon, cylinders, horsepower, and there is a categorical variable that we want in this data set, which is the model of the car. We're not gonna use it for this, but it is part of the data set and should be there as a categorical variable. Okay, so now we're ready to go for the analysis, which is our linear regression. So here on the side you're gonna see analytics. Go ahead and click analytics, and it's gonna pop open this thing. And then you're going to click this little drop down arrow by where it says analysis, and then the fourth option down there is linear regression. We're fine to use simple regression, so go ahead and do simple regression, and then we're going to choose our data set again, so MT cars, and then we got to put in what variables are our predictor and response variables. So our predictor variable, in this case, I want to use the horsepower of a car, because I want to use the horsepower of a car to predict the miles per gallon that the car would get. So predictor is like going to control our response. I also like to do this predictions and residuals button so you can see a little bit more once we've clicked to see our model. The next step, which is a step that wasn't obvious at first to me looking at this menu, is this little eyeball. It says preview. When you click that eyeball, it's going to pop open tons of information. It did your regression already. It's got tons of information here. So what it's showing us is the number of cases used in our analysis, which is how many measures we had. It shows us our Pearson correlation coefficient. As you can see here, we've got 0.77617. Sorry, that's negative 0.77617, meaning we can expect it to be a pretty negative correlation here. And then we've got the coefficient of determination, which is our R squared. Sometimes you'll see like an R with a 2. And that's 0.60244. And then you've got your equation of least squares line. So this equation helps you in the case that you want to use this regression model to make a prediction of the miles per gallon based on some horsepower. So if somebody says, well, I want to make a guess at what the miles per gallon will be on a car if I know that the horsepower is 125. So what you do is you just plug in 125 times this, and then you've just finished the equation. You can ultimately get your miles per gallon estimate based on your model. There's also all of this plot. I'm sort of hovering over it but not talking about it. These plot points show you where your actual data points compare to this line that is your regression model. So you can see there's some below, some above, but ultimately this line's a pretty good fit. You've got your residuals, and then down here, kind of fun to look at, is your predictions for the observed data. So like the true values are from our actual data. We've got a car that had the horsepower of 110 and actual miles per gallon of 21, well, our model gets pretty close, because if you use our formula, the least squares line, you end up guessing based on this horsepower that you've got a 22.59 miles per gallon. It's not bad. You can look at the other cars, like on the high end, like we've got this car with 245 horsepower. It's got 14.3 as its true miles per gallon, and our prediction is 13.38, which is really not that far off. But that's just a basic summary of what we've got to look at on doing a linear regression inside Rguroo. I hope it helps. If you've got any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email or post them in comments here. Okay, thank you.